Hello and welcome once again to my tutorial series on how to make a 2D platformer in Unity. Today we will be applying some of our terrain and background assets to our project. If you go down here to the project window, click on Assets, Art, our Pixel Adventures folder, the Assets folder, and then go to the Terrain folder. Inside this folder you will see the Terrain Sprite Sheet and the Terrain Slice Sprite Sheet. A sprite sheet is a collection of multiple images that need to be used in a game. The images, however, need to be separated. As you see here, someone has already separated all our sprites for us, and we can apply them to the game if we want. However, we will be slicing this sheet ourselves, so that you can learn how to do this for future projects of your own. If you look here on the right hand side in the inspector window, you will see the tile set import settings. To set this up, change it from default to Sprite 2D and UI. Set up the sprite mode to multiple. This is because our sprite sheet down here is not one single picture. It is multiple pictures we want to break up. Then we need to match our pixels per unit to that of our sprite sheet, which is 16 by 16. So change this from 100, if it says it there, to 16. Once you've done that, click on the sprite editor. Here in our sprite editor, we have all the features for our terrain, but it's all one big picture, and we want to cut this down into smaller blocks. To do that, go up here to Slice, and it probably says automatic on yours, so go to grid by cell size, and you want to make sure that it says 16 for our pixel size because it's 16 by 16, and then you're going to hit slice. Now all our sprites are now broken down into 16 by 16 blocks that are separate that we can utilize for building the terrain of our game. Hit apply. We'll close our sprite editor. We'll go over here to the left hand side to our hierarchy window, and we're going to create a grid. Go down to 2D object and click here on tile map. This will create the grid by which we will place all our individual sprites. As you can see, the grid is these perfect squares like our sprites. So the next thing we need to do is go up here to window, go down to 2D, and we're going to create a tile palette. And this is where we're going to place our sprites to be able to apply them to our scene window. We'll just stick that there for now for convenience. And then we're going to go to create new palette. We'll just call it the terrain palette. And we'll hit create. And now we need a folder to save it into. This right here, this terrain folder, is the same as this terrain folder. So we'll just select it. And right here is our palette. So over here is our sprites, and we can simply import them all there like that, and we'll just save that there. And we'll just give it a second to go to 144 so that we can get to start working on putting together our terrain in our game. So now that we have our sprites imported into our tile palette, it's pretty simple to use. Just left click on the sprite you want, and you'll see it comes down here. And I'll just make some grass, and you simply have to just hold down the left mouse button and drag it straight across. And look at that, I have some grass. Now I want to add some dirt underneath it, and boom, there's the ground to our game, ready to go. Now let's see if I want to just change it up a little bit. Oh, it's the same grass. And let's say I want to make a little bit of a platform for our character to jump on when he starts the game. I can make a little bit of a platform there like that. And we'll make another one. Let's make another one up here. Like that. And right away our game's starting to take life. Now it's time to add a background to our game. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to just get our tile palette out of the way, we're just going to click Close Tab here. And then we're going to go down here to this background folder. And right here we can see a large array of different colors we can add as a background. I'm just going to simply use that blue one. Click on the blue one, and right here where it says Mesh Type, yours probably says Tight. Click it to Full React. And so now I'm going to go over here into the hierarchy window. I'm going to go to 2D Object, and I'm going to create a new sprite. This is just an empty sprite right here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center this right in the middle. It's right there. And then as you can see, there's no sprite added to this yet. So I'm going to take my blue sprite right here, and I'm going to drag him over here, and boom, he's right there. Now I want to tile him all over my background here. So I'm going to go down here to Draw Mode, go to Tiled, and now it's going to ask me how many tiles. So let's see how 20 and 15 work. That's not so bad, but now I have a problem where my background is in my foreground. So I need to be able to add layers to my game. And as you can see here, there's a sorting layer. So I'm going to go over here to where it says sorting layer, and I'm going to go to add sorting layer. I'm going to hit this plus sign right here, and I'm going to add a new layer called background. Now because I want that in the back, I'm actually going to put it on top. And over here where it says sorting layer, I'm going to now label it as my background. And now it has gone behind my ground and my platforms. So now our game is beginning to take shape. Next video, we're going to add in our character and get him moving around our screen. Thank you for watching. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and support me on Patreon. All links in the description below. See you next time.